What if I told you that an air cooler with no pump, no tubes, no liquid of any kind could outperform most 240mm all-in-one coolers straight out of a box, and that it would keep going head to head and winning against a solid chunk of 360mm all-in-ones too? That's not a marketing claim, that's what actually happened on my test bench. And that cooler is the Noctua NH-D15 G2, the most anticipated air cooler release in over a decade. I'm Gadget Joe, and let's get right into it. Hello folks, welcome back to Gadget Joe, and today, like we said, we've got the Noctua NH-D15 G2. And here's the thing about Noctua, they've always stood out like a sore thumb because of that trademark brown and cream colouring, and it's very typical Marmite case of you either love it or you hate the colour scheme. But usually, when you experience the performance, you've learnt to love it pretty quickly. The original NH-D15 launched back in 2014, and for a full decade, it sat at the top of the air cooling world. 10 years, that's almost unheard of in this industry. So when Noctua finally announced the G2, the expectations were enormous. And just for a spoiler alert, they've delivered again. The packaging is actually more compact than the original. It's the usual no-nonsense big brown box with simple detailing around it. And inside you get everything you need. We're talking full mounting hardware for both Intel and AMD sockets, a fan splitter cable, a low noise adapter cable, and you've got Noctua's excellent NTH2 thermal paste, which is genuinely still one of the best compounds on the market. You've got cleaning wipes and a proper Torx T20 screwdriver. Not a cheap plastic thing, an actual metal screwdriver. Store it and don't lose it. And if you're an Intel user on LGA 1700, there are also shim washers in the box to help with the well-known IHS bending issue. There's even a thermal paste guard for AM5 builds. The attention to detail here is just second to none. Oh, and you also get Noctua's iconic metal PC badge, the brown badge of honour. Do whatever you want with that, but you can wear it with pride. Now, before you go and buy one of these, you need to understand that the NH-D15 G2 comes in 3 variants. This isn't just cosmetic, this matters for your build. The difference is in the shape of the copper cold plate, or more specifically, how curved it is. There's a standard G2, which is the all-rounder. It's got a slightly convex cold plate, works well across most platforms including AMD's AM5 and AM4 with offset mounting, and also Intel with washers or contact frames. If you're unsure, this is your safe pick. Then there's the HBC, which is high base convexity, designed specifically for Intel LGA 1700 chips that have developed a concave warp over time due to mounting pressure. The deeper curve on this cold plate compensates for that deformation and ensures proper contact. And finally, the LBC, which is low base convexity. It's optimised for flatter heat spreaders like those on AMD's AM4 and AM5. This maximises contact surface area on flat internal heat spreader designs. This level of engineering to cater for IHS variants across platforms is something no other manufacturer has done at this level. Pick your variant carefully. It does actually make a real difference. Size-wise, you're looking at 150 by 152 by 168mm with fans installed. It is large, there's no getting around that. You do need to check your case clearance before you buy. The dual heatsink towers are asymmetrical, designed so that the cooler sits offset from the motherboard, which means you actually get clearance for the top PCIe 16 slot on most current boards. It's a really smart design. The cold plate itself is nickel-plated copper, machined to an extremely high tolerance. You can see the quality when you hold it. The fin stacks have been completely redesigned. Noctua reduced the fin spacing from 1.9mm down to 1.6mm and added 23 extra fins compared to the original. That's 20% more surface area for heat dissipation, paired with 8 heat pipes, up from 6 from the original D15. The thermal capacity is substantially improved, especially at extreme heat loads above 250 watts. And the towers are fine-tuned specifically to work in tandem with the new G2 fans. Every component here is co-engineered to work as a system, not just bolted together. Let's talk about these fans because they are genuinely next generation. These are NF A14X25R G2 PWM 140mm fans with a round frame, topping out at 1500 RPM with SSO2 bearings. 9 fan blades instead of 7, with stronger blade curves and a frame made from Noctua's Sterex liquid crystal polymer for high stiffness with low vibration. The fan blades are remarkably close to the housing too, creating very little wasted airspace. But the engineering highlight here is something called Supra Torque Speed Offset. Noctua figured out that when 2 fans spin at the exact same RPM in a push-pull configuration, they can interact acoustically, producing beat frequency phenomena, which shows up as that random intermittent vibration that you might have noticed from some dual fan coolers over the years of using them. The G2 fans are pretty clever too, and are deliberately set to run at 25 RPM offset from each other using a driver IC feature. The front fan and rear fan are slightly desynchronized, and the result is that acoustic interaction is essentially eliminated. The fans also support 0 decibel mode, meaning the fans can switch off completely at low loads, near silent operation at idle. It's whisper quiet until you actually push it. Now, I do need to mention that early production batches had reports of fan rattle, which became known online as Rattlegate. Noctua did address this. The unit shipping now should definitely not have that problem, but it's worth knowing about if you've got one of the original first generations of this one. Installation is done via the Secure Firm 2 Plus mounting system, an upgraded Torx-based design. It's methodical, it's solid, and once it's on, it's on. The included screwdriver means you've got everything you need right there. Noctua also provides a thermal paste guard for AM5. It's a small plastic shield that stops thermal compound squeezing out around the IHS during mounting. It's a minor thing, but it shows the level of care Noctua put into the accessory package. RAM clearance is pretty good. The asymmetric tower design gives you breathing room on the memory slots side. However, you will have to take into account the fans for RAM clearance. Thankfully, they can be easily removed and adjusted in height via the retention clips that simply hold them into place via the fins. On my test bench, the RAM clearance was absolutely fine, but in this setup here, I had to raise them slightly due to the slightly tall RAM modules that I've got in this system. It's not a massive issue at all thanks to being able to adjust them, but just be very aware that raising the fans might alter the clearance of your case for the height of the cooler. Verify your specific case and board combo, and obviously put the RAM into consideration as well, but most modern mid-tower and full tower builds should be absolutely fine. Right, now we're going to do some performance, and this is where it gets very interesting, because for this test I went up against 4 360mm all-in-one liquid coolers, the Valkyrie V360 LCD, the EK Nuclear CR360, and the Be Quiet Light Loop 360, and then the Antec Vortex View 360. That's 4 360mm AIOs against 1 air cooler. All results are recorded as temperature delta in degrees Celsius. That's the difference between CPU temperature and ambient room temperature. It strips out any environmental advantage and gives you a pure, accurate comparison. Lower is better, and each test was run at 100% fan speed and at 60% fan speed, which is a much more realistic representation of how most of you will actually run your systems day to day. For test 1, it was Cinebench 2026 multi-thread, averaged across 5 runs for accuracy. This is a real-world heavy CPU workload. Exactly the kind of sustained multi-threaded workload that punishes a cooler that can't maintain its thermal headroom over time. At 100% fan speed, the NH-D15 G2 lands at 50 degrees delta, which matches the Valkyrie V360 LCD outright, and beats both the EK Nuclear CR360 and the Be Quiet Light Loop 360. At 60 degree fan speed, it holds at 54, matching the Antec Vortex View 360 at the same fan speed, and beating the EK and Be Quiet AIOs, on a heavy sustained CPU workload with no liquid, no pump, no radiator, just air. For the next test, it was Cyberpunk 2077, 4K high settings for 30 minutes. This is a real world scenario. This is how most of you will actually use your PC, and that's for gaming. GPUs fully loaded, CPU working hard in the background. 30 minutes sustained to ensure we're past any transient thermal spikes and looking at genuine steady state performance. This is where the G2 is genuinely jaw-dropping. At 100% fan speed, it hits 44 degrees delta. The joint lowest result in the entire chart, matching the Antec Vortex View 360 and sitting ahead of every other 360mm AIO on test. At 60 degree fan speed it runs at 51 degrees, matching the Valkyrie V360 and Antec and beating the EK and Be Quiet. Test 3 is ADA 64 Extreme. Average from 5 runs, ADA 64 is a stress test that pushes CPU, FPU and cache simultaneously. It's an extreme sustained workload that goes well beyond what any normal workload would throw at a cooler. This is where we expose the thermal ceiling. Under extreme sustained load, the gaps naturally widen. This is where liquid cooling tends to pull ahead. But the NH-D15 G2 still delivers an impressive 61 degrees delta at 100% fan speed, beating the Valkyrie, EK and Be Quiet outright, and only matching the Antec at the top. At 60%, it comes in at 69 degrees, which actually matches the Be Quiet Light Loop 360, under an artificially extreme torture load with no liquid involved. And then finally, test 4, Prime 95 small FFTs for a 20-minute test. This is the king of stress tests. Prime 95 small FFTs generates more heat than almost any real-world application ever will. It's a worst-case thermal scenario, full stop. If a cooler can hold the line here, it can handle anything you throw at it in actual use. Under Prime 95 small FFTs, the NH-D15 G2 records a 56 degrees delta at full fan speed, matching the Antec Vortex View 360 and sitting ahead of the Valkyrie, EK and Be Quiet AIOs. At 60% fan speed, it comes in at 64 degrees, matching the Valkyrie and Be Quiet Light Loop, and sitting only 2 degrees behind the Antec, under the single most punishing CPU thermal test that I run. The word that keeps coming to mind here is simply staggering. But here's the headline from my own testing. The NH-D15 G2 is simply the best performing air cooler I've ever had my hands on, full stop. It's not close, there's no tie, it's just simply the best. And beyond air cooling comparisons, it outperforms most 240mm all-in-one coolers entirely. And it keeps up with, and in some cases beats, a solid selection of 360mm AIOs too, which is simply remarkable for a cooler with no pump, no radiator, no tubes, just aluminium, copper, heat pipes and airflow. The performance advantage is especially pronounced at higher heat loads, above 200 watts and well into the 250 watt plus range. Those 8 heat pipes and additional thin surface area give the G2 genuine thermal headroom that the original simply didn't have. When you match the G2 acoustically to its competitors, it still leads the field. There's more cooling per decibel. That's the metric that actually matters for most daily drivers. When it comes to acoustics, at low to medium load, this cooler is extremely quiet. The 0 decibel mode means fans can stop completely at idle on supported motherboards. Ramp up is smooth and gradual. At full tilt, there's 1500 RPM. It's audible. There's measured roughly in the low to mid 44 decibels range at max. That's definitely not silent, but here's the thing. You should really need to run it at full speed. The thermal headroom on this cooler means the fans are doing their job long before they hit the top of a rev range. In real-world desktop and gaming use, most users will never hear this cooler at all. It's compatible with Intel's LGA 1851, 1700, 1200, 1150, 1151, 1155, 1156. AMD's AM5 and AM4 are both fully supported. Noctua's track record on socket support is legendary. When the original NH-D15 launched in 2014, Noctua supplied upgrade kits for new sockets, often for free. There's a reasonable expectation that the G2 will receive the same long-term support. That matters when you're spending £130 on a cooler and plan to keep it across multiple system builds. So now we're going to bring on to the pros and cons, and let's do the pros first. So you've got the thermal performance. It's the best air cooler I've tested, full stop. Outperforms most 240mm AIOs and holds its own against 360mm liquid cooling solutions. The acoustic efficiency. It's got more cooling per decibel than anything else in this category. The fan speed offset is genuinely clever engineering. The build quality is fantastic. Everything about this cooler. The cold plate, the fin stacks, the fans, and the mounting hardware is built to the highest standard in the industry. 3 cold plate variants, the HBC, LBC and the standard variants are a thoughtful solution to a real engineering problem. Maximising IHS contact matters, and Noctua is the only company doing this at this level. The accessories package, the NT-H2 paste, cleaning wipes, LGA 1700 shim washers, and the AM5 thermal guard. The screwdriver, the fan splitter, the no noise adapter, everything. There's nothing that you need to buy separately. You've also got long-term support and warranty. There's a 6-year warranty. Noctua's historical track record of supplying free socket upgrade kits. If you plan to run this cooler across multiple CPU generations, and you absolutely should, Noctua will most likely have you covered. There's no maintenance, no pump to fail, no coolant to leak, and there's no radiator hoses. You simply set it and forget it. Just obviously make sure you clean it. This cooler will probably outlast your system. And then now the cons, and I'm going to be straight with you. The first con is the price. At £130 to £150, depending on where you buy it, this is the most expensive air cooler on the market by a significant margin. There are strong performers from brands like Thermalright at a fraction of the cost. If budget is a concern, those are legitimate alternatives. The G2 costs premium money. And then obviously the size. This is a big cooler. In fact, it's a huge cooler, 168mm tall. You need to verify case and RAM clearance before buying. It's not ideal for smaller or compact builds. Variant choices complexity. 3 variants sound smart, and it genuinely is, but it adds a buying decision that shouldn't really be rushed. Pick the wrong cold plate curve for your platform, and you're leaving performance on the table. Another con is the colour. Look, I know, it's Noctua. This is who they say they are. This is who they are. If the tan and brown genuinely bothers you, there's a Chromax all black version available. The early fan rattle. Early production batches had reported fan vibration issues that we mentioned earlier. This appears to have been resolved, but it's a mark against an otherwise premium product and a brand that holds itself to the highest standards. So with that in mind, who should buy this? You should buy it if you want the absolute best air cooler money can buy. If you're running a high TDP processor, such as a Ryzen 9, a Core i9, or anything that runs hot, and you want AIO level cooling without AIO risk, then this is your answer. You should buy it if you hate AIO maintenance headaches with no pump failures, no coolant degradation, and just a cooler that works indefinitely. You should also buy it if you plan to run it across multiple builds. The long-term socket support and build quality make this a genuinely multi-generational investment. Think twice, however, if you're on a tight budget. The Thermalright Peerless Assassin and similar options offer strong performance at a much lower price point. You're not going to match the performance of a G2, but you're going to get pretty close. Think twice as well if you're building in a compact case. You're going to need to make sure that you measure twice before buying this cooler. The Noctua NH-D15 G2 is, without question, the best air cooler on the market right now. It carries forward a 10-year legacy, improves on it in every single area that matters for thermal performance, acoustics, cold plate engineering, and fan technology, and also mounting hardware. And it does it with the kind of build quality that makes everything else feel disposable by comparison. Yes, it's not the prettiest looking cooler on the market in most people's eyes. The colour contrast is often quite striking, even in most black or white traditional builds, but the performance absolutely makes up for that. And for anybody that knows Noctua or is in the industry, then the colouring is iconic at this point and is often preferred by some. I'm a big fan myself, but even Noctua know that it's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's absolutely fine. As mentioned earlier, they do offer an all-black version too, if it really does bother you that much. Is it worth the price? That depends on what you value. If you're buying this as a long-term investment across 2 or 3 system builds over the next decade, then absolutely yes, 100%. If you're spec shopping and price per degree of cooling is your metric, there are cheaper options that will get you 90% of the way there. But if you want the best, you're looking right at it. Well, that's the Noctua NH-D15 G2. Links, as always, are in the description. If this was useful, drop a like, it genuinely helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. There's more hardware content coming soon. I've been Gadget Joe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.